Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zach. Today I'm going to be giving an update on NAK. So first I'm going to go through technical analysis, then I'm going to go to news on how I'm going to be playing this stock. Make sure to watch my video, my original DD on this stock, down in the comments below. It's going to be in the description, but watch this one first in order to get the full update. Make sure to drop a like in this video to help this channel grow. Subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on to receive the latest ADA news. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So there's a little bit of different things here that I'm considering. So first, one day you get to look at the stock. Of course, after it got the acceptance, this was a more off textbook case of buy the rumor, sell the news, where it really dipped after it got their acceptance for the Pebble mine. Now, the stock is oversold at the current moment. ADX is actually piling in a little bit down. So once it hits 20, it kind of resets the ADX, so not a lot of things looking into here, although it might be actually a little bit of a downside trend, so you need to look into the 1 hour based on the ADX. Momentum here, it seems to have picked up after it kind of lost it on the 27th. MACD seems to have actually been going negative, quite a bit more negative as we go down, so we're trying to look for a reversal here, and volume seems to have actually been decreasing as well. The unbalanced volume ever from the 22nd have plummeted down, but it's actually becoming more stable. So it's kind of looking like it might actually enter an accumulation phase in the next few days or so. The stock price is trading in the lower trading action zone, where reversals are really likely. So that might be a little bit interesting to see. 10 SMA is above 30 EMA, that's bullish. Stock price is still above the 200 SMA and the 50 SMA. That as well is bullish. Moving on now to the 1 hour perspective. Trying to look for different things here. So the 1 hour perspective, you get to look at the MACD where it's trading a little bit sideways. That's a little bit of an interesting thing to see. Average directional index does support the sideways trading for the last few days, and you get to see in the average directional index it's more around a neutral level. Momentum seems to be at a sit still for a couple of days now. The stock price have gone down below the 200 SMA, which is bearish. The stock price is sitting in right under the 50 SMA, also bearish. And it seems that the 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA, also bearish. So 1 hour perspective looks bearish, but here's the thing. The moving averages other than 200 SMA are trading very closely to each other, so it might actually just accumulate rather than drop. I really doubt it. It's going to more play towards supports and resistances. You get to see on the moving average band here, stock price is trading on the lower side of the moving average band, and it did test it a few times. So it tested around here and did bounce back. It did test it a few times here and did bounce back. So it looks like it actually holds it really well. Now moving on towards different supports and resistances. Try to look it up here. There we go. All right. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at a traditional support somewhere around 157, I would say, around 157, and then another one around 151. And then another one around 141. Of course, the 135 is the low point. And then we're looking at a resistance here at around 165. And then we're looking at a Fibonacci resistance of 170. And it's actually been as well confirmed here in traditional. And we're looking at a 1.8 resistance above that traditional. And then we're looking at perhaps 187, somewhere here, 187. And then above that, 192. And then we're looking at 201. And then a Fibonacci resistance at 201. Awesome. So in terms of trend lines, of course, it doesn't seem to be much of a trend line going on there. It did see a little bit of a massive drop here and there. Now, going on towards latest news. So first thing, institutional buy-ins happened quite often from the 27th onwards from my last video. There's something very closer to around 400,000 shares bought. So 40 here, 240, 97. Well, sorry, it's not 240, it's 20%. They increased their shares by 20%, increased their shares by 51%, almost 50,000 new shares here, 3,000 shares, looking 27th, around 15,000 shares. I think they actually averaged up because the value changed while the shares percentage hasn't changed, so that might be a little bit different there. And I'm not sure exactly what happened here because it's locked. But it looks like there's still institutional interest. There's only one company here that decreased their shares ever since the 24th, other than as well the Focus Wealth Management, but it looks like people are actually buying in more, or institutions are. In terms of news, there's this one here. Northern Dynasty confirms final environmental impact statement for Alaska Pebble's project management describes a modern environmental sound mine that coexists with clean water and healthy fishers. So basically there's a summary for the final EIS executive summary. that was prepared there, which basically identifies that the EIS is kind of uh, proper. Now, the company that completed the EIS is a Canadian company called ACOM. So pretty familiar with them. They're a globally recognized engineering company, a massive company there. So I would still give it a good reliability in terms of their EIS. So I wouldn't consider that it actually does fall behind. And in terms of engineering consultation firms, there would be a lot of money in stake if they would try to make false claims. So I think the EIS here report would be solid. So I don't expect it to be battled in court back and forth with any kind of movement there. So definitely would pop up. Now, someone sent me here, this is the representative Gary Knopp, have actually passed away yesterday in a fatal plane crash. Two planes collided. He's representative of Alaska. I'm not sure exactly how this would actually play through for a lawmaker to kind of die in such an accident in terms of the Pebble mine, but I don't think really it would translate much in terms of the stock movement. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. It could actually mean the new next person in line or the new representative would have different views and try to fight it, although I very much doubt it in that point. Yep, so moving on now, we're going to go on and mention how we'll definitely play it. So I would definitely want to see if it actually does hold that support, the 151 mark. I would definitely consider buying it in there. It seems that it's actually a very strong trend that it has formed for quite a bit for the 3 months. And you get to see here, if we were to draw the trend line, and let's say the trend line would look something like this one here, it's still holding nicely. And the bottom of that trend line is around the 1.5 mark. So I would consider buying it around the 1.5 mark. There's definitely news to come with this one. Watch my previous DD and you'll find a little bit of different updates on this. There's another one, another file, not the EIS, the other one here, I believe the ROA that they're looking for. Don't quote me on the exact acronym. You'll find it in my previous DD. And that is still expected sometime soon. So 1.5 is definitely buy for me. If it does test it there, I'll do. If I do buy in it, I'll do notify people on Twitter as well as I usually do. What do you think about this sticker? Make sure you mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and you have a wonderful day.